everyone, welcome back to On the Fly. Today we are going to be taking a look and ranking a variety of Hockey Canada jerseys from throughout the years. So let me know down below your thoughts, whether you agree, disagree with my list, where you think what should go. And also be sure to let me know down below what you want to see next. If you're looking for one of these ranking videos, it can be definitely something else. We're right on the verge of the upcoming hockey season, so when that happens, a lot of content will be coming. But until then, let me know what you want to see. And today we're going to jump off right on into it with the 1920s, starting with the first Olympic jersey. We got the ugly yellows from Canada. I mean, when you look at these from an actual perspective, it's not your general red and white jersey. It's something that is very much out there. And for me, I like Canada. When we look at that, it's going to be red and white. And in terms of what they can do, obviously they're going to get creative with it, but you got to also remember that Canada's colors are red and white, with the exception of blue. And overall, I think when you look at the yellow, it does not fit Canada's mold. So we're going to put that one into the bad category. Iconic jersey, yes. Good jersey, no. So we'll move on to the second one in 1932. Both did win gold with the Winnipeg Hockey Club. Very simple look, nice maple leaf in the middle with Canada underneath it. For me, I think that deserves to go into the meh category. It's nothing really special, but it's not very good either. So the next jersey we're going to look at comes from 1948 with the RCIF, the Royal Canadian Air Force Flyers. So this was a military team that went on to win gold at the Olympics. And for me, in terms of the jersey, it's going to have to go into the bad category. Like I said, it's got to be red or white. And when you start to sort of mix in with the other colors, there's some looks you can pull off. This one is definitely not one of them. And it's just sort of the unfortunate way of it. Overall, I think the jersey is definitely dated. There's a nice little crest in the middle, which is sort of signifies the Air Force. But at the end of the day, I don't think it really cracks any of the list when you look at some of these other jerseys. Coming up next, we have from 1963, the Trail Smoke Eaters, and this participated in the World Championship. So with this jersey, it's a very oddly shaped leaf that's green. And I mean, when you think about green leaves, it's not necessarily what you're thinking about in terms of the Canadian flag. So for me, got to go in the bad category as well. But there's not much more I can say about it. Move on to 1964 with the Olympics. And this is sort of where they started to build their actual team in terms of the national program. And this is sort of the first year where we start to see that jersey. And then that's in 1964 for the Olympics. They placed fourth with, for me, it looks decent, I think, when you look at the blue and the red combined. As I said before, the main color has to be red, and it is in this jersey. I think the blue is a nice touch, especially when you kind of consider that they're sort of including Quebec into it. It looks pretty solid, and I think when you look at that jersey as a whole, it's not necessarily your top of the chain Canada jersey, but it's also not terrible from what it looks like. Next jersey we're going to look at is the gray and red jersey here from 1968 for the Olympics, in which they won bronze. And in this one, another one of those bad jerseys for me, not really cracking the list, and really it's not up there for sure in terms of what they're able to do. I think white would have made a better color for it, but unfortunately they had to go with the grays. So for me, that's a no-no. That's going to be in the bad list as well. Moving on to 1972, and this is where we get into the actual Canada jerseys. This is their first inaugural jersey, which was distributed nationwide. And for me, this one's going to go into the good. I really like the sort of simple look it has. Very, very nice red, white, and it has that little swoop down below, and I think that looks pretty good compared with the Met jersey. As you can see, sort of looks similar, but I think overall it is just that much better and will deserve to go into that good category. The next jersey we have is coming from the Summit Series, and in this one, it is a great jersey. So when you take a look at this, sort of that nice little maple leaf you have there, very difficult to argue with, and I think it is a very nice jersey overall, and that's why it's going to go into the great category. Moving on to yet another Summit Series jersey, and this one is a little bit more crazy. You can't really see too much of it there, but it's got a lot of maple leafs on the shoulder, a lot of maple leafs on the side, and I like maple leafs. So when it comes to that, I like the jersey look. It is a little chaotic. A lot of people might disagree with it, but overall, I think it is a pretty nice jersey. And we'll move on to more Summit Series action with the Canada Cup. And with this one, definitely an interesting look. I like it. I think it looks pretty good, and we'll throw both of them in there. Both of them, I think, are great jerseys. They look really nice with the little half maple leaf there, Canada running up the side. Iconic looks. Don't really go into the best of the best, in my opinion. I feel like there are better jerseys. But as we move on with the 1980 Olympics, this one also very good. A lot more maple leafs and sort of looks pretty good, I think, in my opinion, with all the different leafs and a nice red-white combo. Can't argue with it too badly. And as we move on to the next jersey here, and these ones sort of go together with the red and the white. To be honest, they look pretty decent. They're not necessarily the tie-in jerseys, but I mean, they are decently looking jerseys. They're not any of the crazy stuff where we see random colors getting thrown in there. But with that, we'll move on to the next jersey as we move into the Olympic rounds. This is where we get into the more sort of rather current jerseys, where we sort of see more what it looks like now. With the red and the white, I think these look pretty good, and they sort of moved into today's world. And I think really when you look at them, sort of that basic Canada jersey look, and really doesn't look nice. And we'll sort of just keep throwing those into there as we move on. The white jerseys really don't change throughout Canada's history. The red ones move a little bit. And in this one here, as you can see right over here, we have this jersey. I think it's a great jersey overall with the leaf, the Canada underneath it. Looks really nice in terms of what you have as a Canada jersey. For me, that one's going to go into the great. These jerseys, as we keep moving on here, sort of the same. I think this Canada red is the only one that deserves to go into the great category, mainly because yes, it is an iconic jersey and it does look really nice, especially when it's on the ice. But we are going to unfortunately have to move into the what were you thinking category. Yes, that's that ugly green jersey, which they, ironically enough, made to fit the World Junior host of Saskatchewan, linking up with the Rough Riders. And man, that was a bad choice. It does not look good on the ice one bit. It's green. Why are you wearing green? It's Canada. You're red and white, maybe blue if you want it. You're wearing green. What are you doing? What were you thinking? That's where I'm putting that jersey. And we'll finish off this black one here into the meh. I don't think it looks that good. It does look decent, and comparatively with this one over here, you could argue it does look pretty good, but at the end of the day, I think that red looks a lot better than the black with the added bonus of the other stripes and the other colors. I think the Canada red looks better than the Canada black, and that's why the Canada black one is so low. But as we move on to the more recent jerseys, we have the 2010 Olympics. And for me, this one, as the one that I am wearing right now, I got to put this one into the best of the best. Both the white and the red, I give the slight edge to the white, mainly because if you look into the logo, and if you ever look at a jersey online, it's got a bunch of different Canadian figures inside the logo, and it looks really nice up close. And for me, that's why it's got to go into the best of the best. And as we move on here, we are going to throw the Canada white for the 100th anniversary for Canada. They made these special jerseys. I think they look really good. I'm going to give the white one and put it in the great category, but the red one for me doesn't look as good. I think the white one looks really good. The red one, it looks good still. I'm going to put it in the very good category. But when you look at that Canada white, it looks great, and I think it deserves to go into that great category. But as we move along here, we're going to go into the Canada white here from Sochi. And this one, for me, the white one doesn't look that good. I'm going to put it in the good, just because when you really look at it, comparatively with the other jerseys, it's just sort of blends in with the background of the white. But when we look at it compared to the red, I think the red looks really great, and I think it's probably one of Canada's better jerseys overall, just from what they've been able to do. And as we move into the World Championship, we're going to put this Canada red here. My opinion is a great jersey as well. Well, the white one, not as good in my opinion. I think it's going to go into that good category. It's not as good as the red one. The white one looks a little bit off placed, and really they just had to make it so it looked like the Canada red from the World Championship. And for me, I think World Cup of Hockey, rather. For me, I think that great from the World Cup of Hockey deserves to go in that great category. Next one we have here is from Sochi as well. With the black, for me, it's a very meh jersey. I understand what they're trying to get out of it, but even on the ice, it just looks out of place. And really, when you look at the other jerseys they had, I think that the other jerseys from Sochi looked a lot better than the black one. But as we move on here, we are going to make our way to Pyongyang with the Canada Whites. And for me, the Canada Whites sort of look pretty good. I think it deserves to go into that great category. But when we look at the red, I think even though I have the red just over on this side here, for me, it's sort of a good jersey. Like the way they make it look, the white looks a lot better just by the way the arms sort of swing there. Nice, simple front. But when we look at that, the red, it looks sort of jumbled together, especially with the black and the red. Overall, not their best producer right there. And sort of in the similar boat, the black looks sort of like it's been jumbled together with the red. So overall, I think that's sort of where those Pyeongchang Olympics jerseys would fit. And as we move on to the most recent Beijing Olympics with the Canada Whites, and I got to admit, when I first saw these Canadian jerseys, I was very surprised. They did not look good to me right off the top. They still don't. The only one that, in my opinion, is quantifiable is the white one. And when we look at the other jerseys, what are you doing with black leaves? Black leaves are not really what you're looking for. It's got to be either a white leaf or a red leaf. It's not a black leaf, and it just looks like it's been burned. So for me, the red and the black, bad jerseys. You could argue for what were you thinking. It does not look great. But finally, we move on to the current jerseys here with Team Canada. And for me, I got to say, the classic, this jersey right here, goes into the great category. This one, very good category. The black one, very good as well. They both look sleek on the ice. This third one just looks that much better, especially with the red from Canada. I really do like the look of it. And finally, the last jersey, their most recently announced jersey with the Canada, with the leaf. Very, very basic, very simple. We're going to throw it into the very good category. In my opinion, it makes a lot of sense to put it there. But with that, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends. Leave a comment down below your thoughts on my list. Until next time, see ya.